Hello student, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will discuss the topic significant figures and dimensional analysis. To make sure you have watched all the videos of this unit and measurement chapter. So let's start this video topic significant figure. What is significant figure? So student, you have already studied about errors associated with any measurement. Hence, it is important that every measured value is expressed in such a manner that it indicates the precision of measurement. Okay. So the reported result of measurement is the number that includes all digits in the number that are known reliably plus the first digit that is uncertain. Okay. In every measurement, we have all reliable that is certain digit and the first digit that is not reliable that is uncertain digit. So the reliable digit plus the first uncertain digits are known as significant digits, or we can say significant figures. For example, the period of oscillation of a simple pendulum is 2.36. Digit 2, 3 are reliable and certain, while digit 6 is uncertain. So the measured value has 3 significant digits. Okay. The length of an object reported after measurement to be 287.5 centimeter has 4 significant digits. Here 287 are certain while digit 5 is uncertain. Okay. So the choice of change of different unit does not change the number of significant digits or figure in measurement, that is length 1.205 centimeter or 0.01205, 12.05 millimeter and 12.12050 micrometer all have 4 significant figures. I hope this is clear to you what is significant figures. Now rules for determining significant figure. Okay. How to determine significant figures? So we have rules. First rule is all the non-zeros are significant digits. Suppose we have numbers 42.69432. Okay, 42.69. We can write this. We have on non-zero digits are significant, so we can write this 42.69432. Okay, so here 8 significant digit 42.69432. So we can't count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In this we have 8 significant digits. Okay, all non-zero digits are significant. I hope this is clear to you. Second is all the zeros between two non-zero digits are significant, no matter where the decimal point is, if at all. All zeros between non-zero non-zero digits are significant. If we write the number 4.0923. So here significant digits are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 significant digits. 0 between 4 and 9 is also significant digits. Okay. So I hope these 2 points are clear to you. Third point is if the number is less than 1, the 0 on right of decimal point but to the left of the first non-zero digits are not significant. Okay. If we write the number, if the number is less than 1, then and the zeros on the right of decimal point. If we write number 0.00, according to this rule, number is less than 1 and the 0 on right of decimal point. Right of decimal point is 0, but to the left of first non-zero digits are not significant. Left of right of decimal point. So right of decimal point is number this 0 is the right of decimal point and it is the left of the first non-zero digit. Okay, so here we have two significant digits. If the number is less than 1, 0 is on right of significant digit and left of first digits of non-zero digits are not significant. I hope this is clear to you. And next point is the terminal or trailing 0 is in a number without the decimal points are not significant. If we write a number 47000, so we can write here we have two significant digits. Okay, terminal zeros without the decimal points are not significant. So I hope this is clear to you. Okay, next point is says trailing 0 these are the if a measured value bears a decimal point, the trailing 0 are significant. Okay, if measured value, the trailing 0 is a number with a decimal point are significant. Fifth point is trailing 0 is in a number with the decimal points are significant. Suppose we have a value 3.2500. So we can write there are 5 significant digits. Since the trailing 0 in a number with the decimal points are significant. So I hope these points are clear to you. What is the rules for finding the significant figure? Now let's come to the point dimensions of a physical quantity. Nature of physical quantity is described by its dimensions. All the physical quantities can be expressed in terms of 7 base or fundamental quantity. We have already discussed on this topic. We have 7 fundamental quantities. These are mass, length, time, electric current, thermodynamic temperature, intensity of light, and amount of substance raised to some power. Okay. So the dimensions of physical quantity are the power to which the fundamental or base quantities are raised to represent that quantity. Okay, dimensions of a quantity are power or exponent to which the fundamental or base quantities are raised to represent that power. Using square bracket around a quantity means that we are dealing with the dimensions of quantity. When we write the dimensional formula of any quantity, we use this square bracket. Okay. For example, dimensions of volume of an object. So we have unit of volume is meter cube. Meter is measurement of length. Length represented by capital L. So dimension of volume is L cube in bracket, square bracket. This is a dimensional formula of volume. How to write dimension of force? We know force, unit of force is kilogram into meter per second square. Okay, kilogram is mass. So dimension of mass is capital M. kilogram into meter is length. Dimension of length is capital L. Okay. Per second square. Dimension of time is T. So we can write mLT minus 2 in square bracket. This is the dimension of force. Dimensions of energy. Energy is given by half mv square mgh, or work is force into displacement. So when we find the dimension, it will be ml2t minus 2. So for finding the dimensions of any quantity, we need to know the formula or unit of that quantity, so that we can write the dimension of that quantity easily. Okay. Dimension quantity in a physical quantity which has dimensions. Dimensional quantity is a physical quantity which has dimensions. For example, speed, acceleration, momentum, torque, etc. Write a dimensional formula of these quantities. If I take example of speed, dimensional formula of speed is LT minus 2. Since unit of the speed is meter per second, so we can write LT minus 1. And acceleration, dimension of acceleration is LT minus 2. Since its unit is meter per second square. Okay, write the dimension of momentum and torque by yourself. Okay, dimensional quantity. Dimensional quantity is a physical quantity which has no dimension. For example, relative density, refractive index, strain, etc. These quantities have no dimensions as they have no unit. Okay. Dimensional constant. Dimensional constant is a constant which has dimensions. For example, universal gravitational constant, Planck's constant, Hubble constant, Stephan constant, Wien's constant, Boltzmann constant, universal gas constant, Faraday constant, etc. These all have dimension and unit. Okay. What is dimensional constant? Dimensional constant is a constant which has no dimensions. Dimensional constant is one which has dimensions and other one which has no dimension. For example, 5 minus 0.38 e pi, etc. Okay. So how to write dimensional formula and dimensional equation? So let's take some example. The expression which shows how and which of the base quantities represent the dimensions of a physical quantity is called dimensional formula of given physical quantity. Okay. Example. If we write a formula of volume, I told you volume, unit of volume is meter cube. Okay, so we can write m raised to power 0, L raised to power 3, T raised to power 0. M raised to power is 1, T raised to power is 1. So we can write dimensional formula of the volume is M in terms of MLT. M raised to power 0, L raised to power 3, T raised to power 0. Dimensional formula of speed or velocity is m raised to power 0 L T minus 1. We know dimensional formula of velocity is meter per second L T minus 1. Here. And how to write formula of acceleration? Acceleration is given by meter per second square. Meter L second square T minus 2. So we can write L T minus 2. Dimensional formula of acceleration given by m0 L T minus 2. I hope this is clear to you. An equation obtained by equating a physical quantity with its dimensional formula is called dimensional equation of physical quantity. For example, V is the velocity, V is volume, ml3t0. Next one is V, here V is velocity, mlt minus 1. A dimension of A is given by A is acceleration, so which is given by m0 Lt minus 2. Here impulse and write dimension of impulse and momentum, work energy, torque, stress, pressure, modulus of plasticity, energy density, constant, force constant, surface tension, surface energy, angular velocity, frequency, velocity gradient, gravitational potential, latent heat, thermal capacity, entropy, universal gas constant, and Boltzmann gas constant, force and thrust, power, luminous flux. Okay. Dimensional analysis and its application. Okay. So dimensional analysis is a tool to find or check relation among physical quantities by using their dimension. How we use dimensional analysis? When magnitude of two or more physical quantity are multiplied, their units should be treated in the same manner as ordinary algebraic symbol. Okay, we can cancel identical unit in the numerator or and denominator. Similarly, physical quantities represented by a symbol on both sides of a mathematical equation must have the same dimension. Clear? Dimensional analyze, we can use dimensional analyze in three ways. Okay. So it can be used to check the dimensional consistency of an equation, whether the given equation is correct or incorrect. This is called principle of homogeneity of dimensions. Second, to convert unit in one system into another system. If you are given energy in CGS system and you are asked convert it in MKS system, so we can convert it by using dimensional analysis. Okay, and to derive the relation between physical quantities based on certain reasonable assumptions. So we can use dimensional analysis in three ways: to check the relation of equation, to convert in one unit system into another system, and to derive the relation between physical quantities based on a certain reasonable assumption. Clear? So let's talk about these one by one. So first is checking the dimensional consistency. How to check dimensional consistency. Okay. So let's take some example. This is also called principle of homogeneity of dimension. The magnitude of physical quantity. What is principle of homogeneity? So we can write magnitude of physical quantities may be added together or subtracted from one another only if they have the same dimensions. What does it mean? If two quantities which have same dimension, suppose dimension of meter L and dimension of radius L, so we can add. Okay, so magnitude of physical quantities may be added together or subtracted from one another only if they have the same dimension. For example, initial velocity can be added or subtracted from final velocity because they have same dimension formula m0, m0, Lt minus 1. I hope this point is clear to you. But force and momentum cannot be added because their dimensional formula are different. We know that dimensional formula of force is mLt minus 2 and dimensional formula of momentum is mLt minus 1. So they cannot be added. Okay. So here you are given one example to check the dimension of the following relation. Relation is V square equal to U square plus 2AL. So to check this, we have to write the dimension on both sides. So write dimension. We know dimension of U. U is initial velocity is m0 Lt minus 1. V of final velocity is m0 Lt minus 1. And A is acceleration, its dimension is m0 L t minus 2. Now put this value in equation first. So we will get m0 L t minus 1 square m0 L t minus 2 square plus m0 L t minus 2 square into m0 L t 0. Note that constant 2 is the term 2as does not have dimension. Any constant value 2, 4, 6, pi has no dimension. As I told you in previous slide. So on solving this, we will get m0 L2 t minus 2 equal to m0 L2 t minus 2 plus m0 L2 t minus 2. Okay. So each terms of above equation is having same dimension. So we can say this formula is correct. So therefore the given equation is dimensionally correct or dimensionally consistent. I hope this is clear to you how to find the, how to check the formula of the correctness. So note in an equation fails the consistency test if it is proved wrong. Okay, if dimension on both sides is not matched, we can say the given formula is incorrect. But if it passes, it is not proved right. Thus, the dimensionally correct equation need not be actually be an exact correct equation, but a dimensionally wrong, incorrect, or inconsistent equations must be wrong. Example here, v square equal to u square minus 2as, or v square equal to u square plus 1 by 2 as. If we check this relation by dimensionally, both are correct, but these are incorrect equation in mechanics. We use in mechanics v square equal to u square minus 2as. We don't use v square equal to u square plus 1 by 2 as. Clear? So Albert Einstein tried this for his famous mass energy equation as E equal to m upon c square, or E equal to m square upon c, or E equal to m square c, etc. Because they have the same dimensions. But finally, he settled with equal to mc square using dimensions and then proved it with the help of calculus. I hope this is clear to you. Now, next example is to check the consistency of this given formula. Given equation, you have given equation. Equation is 1 by 2 m v square equal to mgs. So now write the dimension of both sides. Here we know that dimension of m is m L0 T0. Here m is mass, v is velocity. So dimension of velocity is Lt minus 1. Clear? G is acceleration due to gravity. So we have the dimension of this is m0 Lt minus 2. And h is height. Height, we measure height. Height is length. Dimension of h is L. m0 Lt0. So substituting these values in the given equation, we will get m0 Lt0, m0 Lt minus 1 square equal to m L0 T0, or m0 Lt minus 2 m0 Lt0. So on solving this, we will get ml2 t minus 2 equal to ml2 t minus 2. Note that constant 1 by 2 in terms 1 by 2 mv squared does not have dimension. 1 by 2 is constant value. We say that dimensions of right hand side and left hand side is same. So this equation is dimensionally correct. We can say this equation is dimensionally correct equation. So each terms of above equation is having same dimension. Therefore, the given equation is dimensionally correct or dimensionally consistent. I hope this is clear to you. Now, second point is conversion of unit in one system into another system. How to convert unit into one system into another system. So units are derived from the dimensions, and the dimensions are derived from the actual formula of physical quantity. Okay. If the dimensions are known for a physical quantity, then it is easy to express it in FPS, CGS, MKS, SI systems or any other arbitrarily chosen systems. I have already explained on this topic. Okay. So when we are going to convert one system to another system, we use this formula N1 M1 raised to power A, L1 raised to power A, B, T1 raised to power C equals to N2 in bracket M2 raised to power A, L2 raised to power B, T2 raised to power C. So we N2 equal to N1 in bracket M1 upon M2 raised to power A, L1 upon L2 raised to power B, T1 upon T2 raised to power C. Here N1 and N2 are the magnitude in the respective system of unit. Suppose N1 in SI system, N1 in CGS system, and you have to convert it in MK system. So N2 is given by N2 is MK system. So N2 is given by N1 equal to N2 equal to M1 upon N1 into M1 upon M2 into raised to power A, L1 upon L2 raised to power B, T1 upon T2 raised to power C. Here N1 and N2 are the magnitude in respective system. Smaller the unit, bigger the magnitude of a physical quantity. For example, 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. So meter is bigger unit and centimeter is smaller unit. You have already know about it. 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to power 5 dynes. Newton is bigger and dyne is smaller. So here we have converted 1 joule in earth. Now convert 1 joule in earth. So how to convert 1 joule in earth? First write the unit of dimension of joule. Joule is the unit of energy or work. We know dimension of work is ml2 T minus 2. Okay, ml2 T minus 2. Here N1. N1 is 1 joule. 1. So we can write N1 is 1. And N2 we have to find N1 in SI system, CGS system in N2. Okay, so N2 we have to find. Here mass, we know that mass is 1 kilogram and CGS system mass is in gram. Length in SI system in meter, CGS system it is in centimeter. Time, SI system second, CGS system 1 second. Now we have to convert SI into CGS. Okay, so we know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 gram, 1 meter equal to 1 centimeter. Now, write the formula M raised to power A, L raised to power B, T raised to power C equal to M L2 T minus 2. Therefore, A equal to 1, B equal to 2, C equal to minus 2. Okay. Unit from dimension in SI and CGS systems are given kilogram meter per second square or gram centimeter square per second square. Here let N1 joule and N2 earth. Apply formula N2 equal to M1 upon M2, N1 into M1 upon M2 into L1 upon L2 raised to power B and T1 upon T2 raised to power C. Use that formula. N2 equal to N1 into M1 upon M2 raised to power A, L1 upon L2 raised to power B, T1 upon T2 raised to power C. Now put these value. N2 equal to N1 is 1, M1 is 1000 gram since we have to change it in gram. So 1000 gram upon gram raised to power 1. L1 is 100 centimeter. We have converted meter into centimeter and L2 is 1 centimeter square and time is in seconds, so 1 second upon 1 second minus 2. On solving this, formula will be N2 equal to 1 into 1000 raised to power 100 raised to power 2 and 1 raised to power minus 2. So it will be N2 equal to 10 raised to power 7 earth. So we can say that 1 joule equal to 10 raised to power 7 earth. I hope this is clear to you. Now convert 1 Newton into a system where mass is measured in meter, length in kilometer, and time measured in minute. Question is to convert 1 Newton into a system. We have to convert 1 Newton. Newton is unit of force. We have to convert 1 Newton force into a system where mass is measured in milligram. Okay. And length is measured in kilometer. Okay. And time is measured in minute. Clear? So since we have to convert Newton into in that units, we have given N1 is 1 mass 1 kilogram, length 1 meter, and time second. We have to convert kilogram into milligram. So we know that 1 kilogram is equal to 10 raised to power 6 milligram. Length 1 meter equal to 10 raised to power minus 3 kilometer. And 1 second equal to 1 upon 60 minute. A new system in which we have to convert this in Newton and we have to find length mass milligram, length kilometer, and time second. And we know unit dimensional formula of force is mlt minus 2. Therefore a equal to 1, b equal to 1, and c here c equal to minus 2. Newton or kilogram meter per second square is a unit of force in systems, and milligram kilometer per minute square is the unit in the new system. So dimensional formula of force is mlt minus 2, as I told you. Here N1 in Newton equal to N2 milligram kilometer per minute square. Use this formula. N2 equal to N1 into M1 upon M2A, L1 upon L2B, T1 upon T2C. Put these value in equation, we will get N2 equal to 1, 10 raised to power 6 milligram upon milligram, raised to power 1, 10 raised to power minus 3 kilometer upon kilometer raised to power 1, and 1 upon 60 second raised to power minus 2. On solving this, we will get 1 Newton equal to 3.6 into 10 raised to power 6 milligram kilometer per minute square. I hope this is clear to you. And 2 equal to 10 raised to power 6 1, 10 raised to power minus 3 1, 60 into 60. So we will get 3.6 into 10 raised to power 6. I hope this is clear to you. Third, application of dimensional analysis is deducing deducting relation among the physical quantities. So method of dimensions can be sometimes be used to deduce relations among the physical quantities. How we find the relations? For this, we should know the dependency of physical quantities on other quantities. Up to 3 physical quantities or linearly independent variable, and consider it as a product type of dependency. Okay, for example, let's take example. Consider a simple pendulum having a bow attracted to a string that oscillates under the action of the force of gravity. Okay, suppose that period of oscillation of some simple pendulum depends on its length, its mass of the bow, and acceleration due to gravity. Now derive the expression for its time period using method of dimension. So how to solve this? The dependency of time period t on a quantity, length, acceleration due to gravity small g, and mass as a product may be written as, we can write t. First we can write t is directly proportional to L raised to power x, m raised to power y, g raised to power z. Or we can write t equal to k into L raised to power x into m raised to power y into g raised to power z. Now write the dimensional formula both sides. We have the dimensional formula of time period is t. Mass is ml0 t0. dimensional formula of L is m0 L t0. Dimensional formula of acceleration due to gravity is m0 L t0 t minus 2. Dimensional formula of time period t is m0 L0 t. Now substituting these dimensions on both sides of this equation. T equal to k L raised to power x, m raised to power y, g raised to power z. So on putting these value in this equation, we will get m0 L0 t, m0 L t0 raised to power x, m0 L0 t raised to power y, m0 L t minus 2 raised to power 2 z. Okay, so on solving this, you will get m0 L0 t equal to m raised to power y, L raised to power x plus z, t raised to power minus 2z. Okay, apply mathematical relation. So we will get one equation of dimension on equating dimensions on both sides. Now we have to equate, compare the dimensions on both sides. So you will get y equal to 0. Here m equal to 0 on right and y equal to 0 on comparing right hand side and left hand side. M raised to power 0 equal to m raised to power y. So we can write y equal to 0. Okay. Now x plus z. Here in left hand side L equal to 0 and right hand side L raised to power x plus z. Left hand side L raised to power 0 equal to, and right hand side L raised to power x plus z. So we can write x plus z equal to 0. And t raised to power minus 2z in right hand side and t raised to power 1 in left hand side. So on comparing, minus 2z equal to 1 and from this z equal to minus 1 by 2. Put this value z equal to minus 1 by 2 in x plus z, we will get x equal to 1 by 2. So we have the values x equal to 1 by 2, y equal to 0, z equal to minus 1 by 2. Put these value in first equation. So we will get t equal to k L raised to power 1 by 2, g raised to power minus 1 by 2. Or we can write t equal to k 2 k under root L upon g. So we have value of k is 2 pi and determined from other method. Okay. So formula is t equal to 2 pi under root L upon c. That's how we have find the relation between the quantities. We have find the formula of the time period by dimensional method. So I hope this is clear to you. Demerits of dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis cannot be used in the following cases. These are value of constant in an equations cannot be determined as the constant do not have dimensions. Okay, only dimensional consistency and not the physical consistency can be tested. Third one is dimension cannot be found from the physical quantity, but physical quantity cannot be always guessed from the dimensions because two or more quantity may have same dimensions. Okay, the equation containing the dependency on more than 3 quantities cannot be determined using only M as 3. I hope this is clear to you. Note that if 4 independent quantities are involved, then 4 variable and hence 4 simultaneous equations are required. Hence, there must be 4 fundamental dimensions. And the equations containing exponential, trigonometrical, logarithmic functions, etc. cannot be derived as they do not have dimensions. Okay, and 6 point is the equation having the relation other than product quotients cannot be derived. These are some problem related to these topics. First is derive an expression for time period of a simple pendulum consisting that it depends on length of the pendulum, mass of the ball, and acceleration due to gravity. Another question is the minimum velocity v that must be imparted to a projectile so that it escapes from the earth forever, called escape velocity. Depends upon gravitation constant capital G, mass of earth capital M, radius of the earth capital R. Using dimensional formula and find the formula of this velocity using dimensional analysis. Okay. Next is string of length L vibrate with frequency V. if mass per unit length of string is m and tension in string is T, considering that V depends on L and T. So derive the formula using dimensional analysis. Side of cubical block is 2.805 meter. Find its surface area and volume correct to appropriate significant figure. And next one is write the number of significant figure in each case. You have given 6 cases. Now find the significant figure. Okay, and you are giving some physical quantities. Okay, area, volume, mass, density, frequency, velocity or speed, acceleration, force, impulse, work, energy. Okay, power, momentum, pressure, stress, strain, modulus of elasticity, surface tension, surface energy, velocity gradient, pressure in a gradient, pressure energy, and coefficient of viscosity. Okay, and here relation with physics. These are formula of this quantity. Using these formulae, find the dimensional formula, dimensions of each physical quantities. Okay, so there was something about significant figures and physical and dimensional analysis. I hope every point should be clear to you. Okay, so using these concepts, solve the questions which is given in this video. Okay, and if you have any question, any query, just write in my comment box. Thank you.